How can I keep hot food hot when transporting it? How can I keep hot food hot when transporting it, e.g., to a friend's house or a potluck? I usually just give up and take cold food, but I'd like to have more options.
Depending on what it is I am transporting, I use different methods, and I use the same methods for both hot and cold transport. The easiest is the towels in a box. Lay 4 towels down in a shallow box, hanging the other ends of the towels out each side of the box. Then put your dish or bread or pot or whatever in the box and fold each of the 4 towels over the food. If you have hot food, lay some more insulation material over the top, as heat rises. If you have cold food, put the box on the seat, not the floor, as the floor will conduct heat from your vehicle up into your food. I always have a sleeping bag in my rig, and I will sometimes wrap food well with towels and then open the sleeping bag and shove the food into it, wrapping the rest of the sleeping bag over the top if hot food and under the bottom if cold. This has worked a lot for frozen foods when I go bulk shopping in the city, holding frozen food for 4 hours and more. First things first, to keep the food hot you need to take into account 2 factors: thermal mass and heat conduction. Thermal mass is how much heat your food or its pot can retain. Generally, heavier pots and pans, cast iron or clay, will be hot for a longer time than thin-walled ones made of steel or aluminum. Rule of thumb: the heavier the pot, the better its heat retention. Bringing more food also helps. Heat conduction is how well does a material let heat pass through it. Metals and water give heat away very easily, and aren't good for insulation. Thick fabrics, wool, cotton, or just layers of air in between sheets of newspaper are good at keeping heat in. Rule of thumb: if it'll keep you warm in the winter, it can keep your food warm. My personal favorite is just wrap the pot in a woolen blanket. Just make sure you don't get the blanket greasy.